Welcome to Lanterns Live. It's Ralph. I don't think I set up my audio, so I might sound really weird right now. Let's see here. Yep, I sure didn't.
Go. And there you go. Should sound better now. I have no idea. Welcome to the show. It's been a little bit since I've done a new episode. I mean, I was here on Saturday. I did a Saturday morning cartoons, the final Filmation one, which someone gave me crap for making fun of a cartoon made for kids, 50 years ago. Listen, here's the thing. Like, I enjoyed all of those Filmation ones. Just the last one wasn't that great. So there's that. But forget about that. Let's talk about today. Today, I am opening up this three figure set from Todd McFarlane's McFarlane Toys Green Lantern, Hourman, and Starman. This is my first time ordering from McFarlane Toys, and I got a great 10% discount for it being my first time. But I'm kind of excited because this came really, really quick, and this packaging is pretty cool. This is the mailer. It looks like it got shot by a couple people on the way, but the figures aren't damaged. Even if the packaging was damaged, I wouldn't mind, because I'm not like a crazy toy collector. I'm a open box collector. So let's take a look at these three figures now. There they are. I did show these off on Saturday during the stream. I think it's funny that if like people don't know who these characters are, they might think that this is Green Lantern, that's Hourman, which it is, and that's Starman. The Green Lantern in question is Alan Scott. There he is. We'll get a better look at him once we open it up. I'm not the biggest authority on Alan Scott. Mostly I know Alan Scott because of any sort of crossover that he had with Hal Jordan in the Silver Age or even the Modern Age. But I absolutely have no idea about these guys. Hold on a second. Okay. So like, I don't really care about the 3-pack. What I care about is this guy. So I'm going to go ahead and tear it up, and we'll take a look at Starman and Hourman. I believe Starman, if I'm not mistaken, is the guy in Joel McHale. I think the Starman in the Supergirl show, not Supergirl, Stargirl. So I don't know much about him. He's the only one in here that comes with a weapon. All three of them have man, this box. It smells like the stuff they give you before you go under during a surgery. It smells like laughing gas. I don't know if that's paint, plastic, but yeah. He comes with the star rod here, and it fits in his hand. All three of them come with soft goods. I know that's a thing. This cape is actually a nice fabric. Look at the colors on this guy. I mean, I really honestly didn't care about these toys other than the Alan Scott. But out of the box, this dude's really cool. Look at those colors. Holy cow. I really like it. So maybe he'll find a place to go. I'm not really sure. Hourman, I know a little bit more of. Hourman also appeared on the Stargirl TV series, which was Jeff Johns, I think, sort of produced that series. Obviously, he created Stargirl. And so these are like Golden Age characters. let me take a look at this something real quick. Okay, nice articulation, 7 points. He's got a belt with a little holster on it. It's cool. It's like doesn't get in the way of bending the item. So he has a belt, which is affixed. So it's not an accessory, but he does have the accessory and the soft goods. Anyway, there's that guy. But this Hourman, he's got not only the soft goods cape, the belt is attached. It's part of the mold, but he has a little necklace with the hourglass on it. I have no idea if this will zoom in on that. Nope, it won't focus. But his head is kind of is kind of wobbly, which kind of feels like more articulation. It won't stay in that pose. The cape has, you know, 3 colors, matches. I like the hood. I'm wondering if there's a Silver Age villain of Green Lantern that I can change this into a custom on this. The string feels like it's going to break, but there's Hourman. Okay, cool. All right, now here's what we're here for. Green Lantern Alan Scott does not come with an accessory. He does have a soft goods cape, which is green on the inside, purple on the outside, just like the character was has kind of been drawn. I'm trying to think if the Golden Age Alan had the two-tone cape created by Bill Finger and Martin Odell. And it's kind of a really cool cape that in that it kind of has a fold to it. I don't know how to describe that. It's not just like a flat piece of fabric. It's almost like stitched to have like Superman folds on the shoulder, which is really nice. And the cape comes up, this big collar comes up like in the comic books, and it's really cool. And then you have this plastic piece here that's like the clasp. This is a really good figure. Um, the joints are nice. The graphics are nice. I got great paint applications on it. Um, he seems a little shorter. Let's see how he is next to John. No, he's about the same height as John Stewart. The colors are absolutely vibrant. I mean, I don't know if I'll get it focused on there, but you can see those colors. This costume is a great classic costume. Um, uh, yeah, and yeah, it's a really solid figure. Is it worth the $40 and getting the other 2 figures? Maybe. I think that the line is so cheap or inexpensive where you can spend $10 on a Kilowog. So I would actually spend 20 on a Kilowog. So when I do all the pricing over all the figures, I feel like, you know, spending an extra $30 for this guy, I think is worth it, because I'd never in my wildest dreams thought they would make an Alan Scott figure. The cape is really nice. I was afraid that the cape was going to feel like really thin and cheap, like really just like practically paper. But this is a really nice, soft cloth, and it feels sturdy. One of the details I like, and I'm sure that DC is working closely with Todd, and Todd I think has attention to detail. Is that the ring is on the left hand, which I always keep an eye out for. He did that with Sinestro, which is the correct hand to do it on, but it is a nice detail. I don't know much about Alan as far as you can kind of bend that cloth down to like do like a little thing. Yeah, that's a thumbs up. I don't know too much about Alan because over on Comixology, I've been using Comixology since like its inception. They only have one issue of like Golden Age Alan Scott Green Lantern, and it's some book they put out back when they had like the Green Lantern app, like back in 2011 when they had the Green Lantern app for Comixology. They had one issue, and it was like a Doc Savage, or not a Doc Savage, it was a Vandal Savage issue, which I read and I thought was fun. You know, Doiby Dickles and all of that stuff. That's all fun. But they never really released anything else. I would like to see them put the archives of the Golden Age Alan Scott Green Lantern up on Comixology. Just because the only comics I've read with Alan Scott was like the was it Earth One? Was the New 52 where they changed the outfit, they changed his backstory, they made him gay, and stuff like that. Like I read that, and any sort of crossover with Hal, anytime he pops in, like with Kyle Rayner and Jade, that stuff I'm familiar with, but I really don't have those old issues from like the 40s, and I'd really be interested in reading those. The funny thing is about this, which speaking of the 40s, is that Bill Finger created this with Martin Nodell. Looks a little similar to Bob Kane's version of what Batman was going to be with the bright red long sleeve shirt and the mask. I know there's enough changes in here that it's not that version of Batman, but I like this design. I've always liked this design. It looks like Christmas, and I think Todd, whatever plastic they're using, they picked the right colors. I can really the graphic on here of the Green Lantern is pretty solid. Yeah, I don't think you're gonna get a focus on that, but it looks great. The detail on the belt is painted perfectly. So I think if someone were to say, "Hey, Ralph, like Todd's going to make a run of Alan Scott figures, but it's going to be $40," I'd be like, I'd spend it on that. I think I spent $20 on the gold suit variant Sinestro, um, because it's worth it. It's worth it because again, when the other line or the rest of the line is so cheap that you don't feel so bad when one of them's hiked up a bit. So if you divide these three figures by $40, it's a little bit more expensive than your average DC Superpowers figure. But I wasn't like super amped. I was like, yes, finally they're doing another Green Lantern, and I've been hoping that it was Kyle Rayner. The fact that it's Alan Scott is cool. I'm glad he's going deep in this line. This is not something that I would have put on any wish list, but I'm super glad it showed up because it's one of those things where it's like, I didn't even think about it. And also I didn't even think like this would actually happen. Like, why would this happen? I don't know. And, for Hourman fans and Starman fans, like, I hope they're happy with theirs. If there's anybody who's an Hourman or Starman fan that doesn't want to get the 3-pack, maybe I can work something out and send you the versions I got, because they're just going to sit in a box. Let's go to the chat and answer some questions. First of all, Sarah's here and Lucha Johnny's here. Lanterns Podcast says you are correct. I'm glad. I don't know what that's in reference to, but I'm glad I'm not out here like spitting lies. I need to do an intro video for this page so people understand, like, I am not a Green Lantern expert at all. I am just a fan, and I am, I'd say a little bit more than a casual Green Lantern fan. Like, I do know some stuff, but like, I am not like any authority on the history of Green Lantern. It's all just basically what I consume through the comics and any sort of visual medium. Johnny says that he doesn't know anything about Hourman, but he kind of digs the costume. Yeah, it's a very Pittsburgh sports. It's very black and yellow. It's I think of the three, it's my least favorite. This guy is so bright, and then I'm wondering if I could use this green cape for something else. Maybe take my Hal and make him a parallax or something. If there's, but I heard Hal's like hard to find now. I heard Hal is like one of the toughest Superpowers figures to find out there. But I can use the capes for customs. I might see. I was kind of hoping that I can do like create like the bottler out of this guy, but his mask is a little bit wrong. I'll have to go through and see if there's any cool like Silver Age lantern figure or lantern characters that I can custom those figures out of. More of a cloak than a cape. Okay, let's see here. Do I have to buy another John Stewart for a lantern for this guy? That's the problem, is you can get a John Stewart, but the thing is, Alan Scott's power battery looks more like it's literally a lantern that you'd see like on the train tracks in 1940, because that's what happened. He was in a train crash, and there was I believe a lantern that was glowing green that saved him. I could be wrong. His ring is magic. It comes from what is later described as the Star Heart. And so his lantern, if you go get another John and stick it in his hands, it's not going to look right, because his lantern looks more like what you see on his chest, which is like a railroad lantern or like a camping lantern. So maybe if you can find that somewhere, you may, it may be too big, but the Alfred E. Newman Green Lantern action figure came with a camping lantern. It might be too big, but that would be more accurate to what Alan would have. So yeah. Johnny says the early capes in this line were not great. Yeah, it sounds like when I first saw the capes, I think Wonder Woman had one, Superman, Batman, and stuff. They almost look like you could just like tear it. Like it didn't look good. This is really sturdy, and I like that you can kind of just like it'll easily flip over one side, so you can actually get this guy in a pretty cool pose. Like considering it's not a lot of articulation, but you can really play with the cape and put it over like one over the shoulder and stuff. It's kind of nice. I like the cape a lot. I like that there's this plastic hasp that holds the cape together. It's a really golden age look. I do wish that there was a lantern. I mean, I feel like if Todd put out like an accessory pack of just like a lantern for Kilowog, which he won't be able to hold, a lantern specifically for Guy and anyone else who doesn't have one, that would be great, especially if they're going to do Kyle, because Kyle's lantern power battery did not look the same as everybody else's. So it's kind of sucks that like John's is a little generic looking, but that's how his looked in the comic. The Hal, which is the classic DC Superpowers design, his lantern's really strange looking. Like this actually might look more like something that Alan would carry. I might actually put this in Alan's hand, get another John, and put that battery in Hal's hand, because I feel like this is more like the train lantern that you would see in the classic comics. Let's see. These 3-packs have been for lesser known characters, so it's likely the only way to get them. Yeah, that's the reason I pounced on this. Johnny sent me a link saying that this was coming, or he sent me the picture and said it was up on Todd's site. I just went and I bought it. Yeah. Okay, he said yes about that I was correct about Joe McHale being Starman. I thought so. Pittsburgh sports is fitting since I live 2 hours from there. LOL. Yeah, maybe that's why you like the Hourman so much. Someone will do a 3D printed lantern for sure. I mean, if it looks really good and sharp, that's great. I mean, I think that this lantern is more fitting for Alan than Hal. So I think, what I'll just do is have him hold this from now on. Because I feel like that's a more accurate one. Then I'd sling the cape over like this. And then there he is. He cannot, his ring is impervious to wood, which is interesting, which is really one of the reasons why I want to read these Golden Age Green Lantern books, is because they just sound so interesting and different. When they created the Silver Age, when like Gil Kane and stuff created the Silver Age Green Lantern, they wanted to do everything different about him. So Hal Jordan, even the ring is on the right hand. The outfit is completely different. The lantern logo in the middle is different. In the very first like Showcase 22 and stuff, the lantern looked more like a lantern on Hal, and they've gone to just the symbol of the 2 lines with the circle in it. But this was always just a photo of a lantern. Alan's cool. Alan's a character that's been around since 1940. I'm glad that he still shows up in the comics every now and then. I think he had a book a couple years ago that I should probably check out. I should start checking out more of the Lantern stories that aren't the main book, because I heard there's some good stuff, and I heard that Alan Scott story is really good. And Johnny says, yeah, he was thinking the Hal's lantern too, looking at them sitting in front of me. Yeah, it doesn't look like more standard. I think the lantern that John is holding is closer to what Hal has in the comics. It's more of the modern lantern. Kyle Rayner has a little bit of a cool design to it. So this Alan Scott was a big surprise. I thought that maybe the toy line might be done, but it sounds like they're doing a lot of new characters. Hopefully Todd is still excited about this line. I'm excited about it every time you do a lantern. This dude looks so cool. I wish I can get a really good shot of his face, but my camera doesn't really focus that way. But you'll have to find one yourself to see how cool it looks. Yeah, it's very much a surprise. It's not something that I was looking for, but now that I have it, I love it. I think it's great. They did the hair in the 40s style. Like, he looks like a classic Alan Scott. So yeah, Todd, keep doing weird stuff. I guess I'll buy 3 packs if you kind of stick to this format. I mean, shit, if you want to get into obscure characters, let's do a Green Lantern 3-pack with let's get Kyle Larfleeze and let's do a Jessica Cruz. Let's get like that would be a fun pack to get. I'd be really excited to get more Green Lantern, and as soon as I do, I will be unboxing and reviewing them here. Let's just give this one an A+. I think this is a terrific figure. I think the colors pop. If you look at my shell, it's all green except for I have an Alan Scott PVC, a Guardian PVC, and this guy, and you get that shocker red. Yeah. Johnny says he would love a Kyle, Jessica, and Tomar Ray. Tomar Ray would be great. I and Razor 2 would be great. I think that we need Kyle. We need Kyle before anything. I'm surprised that they went back in time with Alan. And I think with, Todd being a 90s guy and the amount of times he's made like Kyle Rayner, like regular figures, like he did a new one just like a couple years ago, and then he's been repainting that one as well. So I'm hoping Kyle comes soon because he is my favorite Lantern, and I would love to have him part of this lineup. And let's get a new Hal. Let's get a redone Hal while we're at it. Cool. Thank you for joining me. I'm very excited. I'm going to go set up my shelf, get Alan on there. And I want to thank everybody for joining me live, everybody for watching this on replay, everybody who watched my most recent Saturday morning serial or Saturday morning cartoon, because for some reason it's getting a lot of views. I don't know why, but I appreciate it. And hopefully all you folks stick around for more Lanterns Live. Until next time, beware my power. It's Lanterns Live.